Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because today we have some huge news that's going to impact millions of people across the country. We're talking about a major update on the $2,800 monthly raise that has just been approved for SSI and SSDI recipients. Yes, you heard that right. The $2,800 monthly raise is happening, and it's all part of the newly signed 2500 Act which just went through moments ago. This is breaking news, and we're diving deep into what this means for you, how this will affect your finances, and what the next steps are for beneficiaries of Social Security and disability benefits. So, stay tuned, because we've got a lot to unpack, and trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this. Now, let's break this down. If you're someone who relies on Supplemental Security Income, SSI, or Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, you've likely been waiting for some sort of relief for a long time. For years, the cost of living has been rising, and for many, these fixed benefits have been struggling to keep up. But today, everything changed. Minutes ago, the 2500 Act was signed into law, and it's a game changer for anyone who is on SSI or SSDI. What this act does is simple, but powerful. It will raise monthly benefits for those receiving SSI and SSDI by a substantial amount, up to $2,000 more every month. This isn't just a small increase or a temporary bump. This is a permanent adjustment that will have long-lasting effects for millions of Americans who have been struggling to make ends meet. So, who exactly will benefit from this raise? The 2500 Act is designed specifically to help two key groups of people, those receiving SSI and those receiving SSDI. Let's break it down further. SSI, or Supplemental Security Income, is primarily for low-income individuals who are aged, blind, or disabled and have little or no income. SSDI, on the other hand, provides benefits to individuals who are disabled and have worked and paid into the Social Security system before becoming disabled. Both groups have been dealing with stagnant benefits for years, with inflation outpacing the rate at which these benefits were adjusted. For years, the federal government has made small, annual increases to these benefits, but the adjustments simply haven't kept up with the rising cost of living. In fact, there's been a growing gap between what people on SSI and SSDI are receiving and the actual cost of necessities like rent, utilities, groceries, and healthcare. That's where this $2,800 increase comes in. It's not just a one-time check, it's a permanent raise that will provide long-term relief. Let's talk about how this increase is going to change lives. Imagine this scenario: you're a person who's been living on a fixed monthly income that barely covers the basics: your rent, your food, your medical bills. You've had to make tough choices every single month, sometimes skipping meals, or going without essentials, simply because your income isn't enough to stretch as far as it needs to. Well, with this $2,800 monthly raise, that scenario could change drastically. Here's the thing. If you're on SSI or SSDI, you may have already started receiving notifications about this new change, or you will soon. But the real question on everyone's mind is, how will this raise be implemented, and when will you see this extra income? We've got some important details here. According to the government, the new rates will begin being applied in the coming month, with the first adjustments hitting bank accounts by the end of this quarter. So, if you're a recipient, you can expect to see that extra cash flow in your account very soon. Now, we know that some of you might be asking, where is this money coming from? How is the government going to afford this massive increase? Well, the 2500 Act was designed to use a combination of funds from recent federal stimulus packages, as well as a reallocation of funds within the Social Security system itself. The goal is to ensure that those who rely on these programs get a fair shot at living a comfortable life, without having to choose between food, medicine, and rent. And trust me, for millions of people, this raise could be the difference between barely surviving and finally being able to thrive. Some of you may also be wondering if this new raise will impact other areas of Social Security or if it will affect other government programs. The short answer is, this raise is specifically targeted to SSI and SSDI recipients, so other programs may not see the same adjustments at this time. However, there are ongoing discussions in Congress about how to address broader issues of Social Security, healthcare, and the rising cost of living. So, this could very well be the first of many changes we see in the near future. Now, let's talk about the immediate impact this will have. For those of you who've been struggling to make ends meet, this raise is going to offer a level of financial freedom that's been long overdue. For example, you'll no longer have to make those gut-wrenching decisions about whether to pay for your medication or buy food. You'll be able to afford more of the things that most of us take for granted, like going to the doctor without worrying about the bill, or perhaps getting a new pair of glasses if yours are outdated. This is truly life-changing for so many people who rely on these benefits to survive. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the lawmakers who made this possible. While the signing of the 2500 Act is certainly a victory for disabled individuals and low-income seniors, it wouldn't have been possible without tireless advocates, activists, and lawmakers pushing for this change for years. Over the last few months, there's been a push from various disability rights groups, senior organizations, and other advocates who have worked tirelessly to make sure that the voices of those on SSI and SSDI were heard. This is a reminder of the power of advocacy and how important it is to stay engaged in these issues. It's a testament to the fact that when people come together and demand change, they can move mountains. And while this raise is a huge win, there's still more work to be done to ensure that all Americans, especially those with disabilities, have the resources and support they need to live dignified lives. Before we wrap up, let me give you a quick rundown of what you need to do next. First, if you're on SSI or SSDI, keep an eye on your mail and your bank account. Notifications about the new payment structure should be arriving soon. If you don't receive any updates by the end of this month, don't hesitate to reach out to your local Social Security office or check the official website for updates. They should have the full breakdown of the new payment amounts and when to expect them. And for those of you who are watching this and aren't currently on SSI or SSDI, but you think you might qualify, now is the time to get in touch with your local Social Security office. This raise could be your ticket to the financial relief you've been waiting for. To sum up, this is a monumental day for SSI and SSDI recipients across the country. The $2,800 monthly raise is going to provide much-needed relief to millions of people who have been struggling with rising costs. The 2500 Act has just been signed, and now it's time to start seeing those changes roll out in the coming weeks. We'll be sure to keep you updated as more information becomes available, so make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care of yourselves and each other. See you in the next video.